Hey guys, so in this video, I want to revisit some of the stocks slash companies that I mentioned a few weeks ago in terms of what would be the new normal on how our economy would probably go because of this pandemic, because of this virus, and because of the lockdown in general. And I'm going to share the context for all of this as a whole. But we're going to look at it also from a chart perspective, and I'm going to discuss in a way how it relates to how the company's new business model will be. So, as you all know, also from yesterday, the government extended the lockdown up until May 15. But what was not discussed was the biggest chunk of the lockdown or the extended quarantine is basically in areas, cities where there's a lot of cases. But if you look at what's going on, there are a couple of cases already, or a couple of cities or provinces where they're gonna open up the city quite a bit, which is good in a way because it opens up the economy and it will allow couple of businesses in those areas to already start to somehow operate as well. And that's, I think, very, very good because my take on all of this is if they open the lockdown if they open up the country in one go, it may not be good because there some areas are more infected than the other, and some areas are better off in terms of the infections that have gone their way. So I think it's a good step, but also they have to make a balance no on number one, is the curve really slowing down, meaning our infection slowing down? Do we have enough resources also to be able to contain people that possibly get infected? And it's good that there's more testing kits available because we get to really see the extent on how many people would get infected by the virus. So that being said, also, I've mentioned this on previous videos that there will be some businesses that will make money off of this, and there will be some businesses that will be the most hit. Uh, of course, as you all know, as you all know that in every crisis there will be some companies that will emerge that will do better, and there will be some that somehow might really have a hard time. And if you notice this also, I mentioned this when I analyzed Ayala Land yesterday, that you see the breakdown here. It's predicated on the large red candle that we're seeing here. It's predicated from the breakdown of this. But one of the reasons why also is because the extension of the lockdown means that their malls will be closed. That's one implication of it. And the longer the lockdown is, the more that they would have to waive rentals. The more they waive rentals, it means lesser revenue for them. Similar also to SM Prime. Let me show you how SM Prime is. So if you look at SM Prime, it's also the same thing. Large red breakdown from the 20-day moving average, breakdown also from this support level, and it further reiterates what we're possibly seeing here. So if there's a possible downward movement, it's still also because even if you connect this all together, it's projecting the downward push. And if you put this all together, it's showing you that hey, it's below this support level, and it's also below the 20-day moving average. So those are things that are showing you that there's a bit of a downside for those stocks. As what I've mentioned on the previous vlogs, that anything that will cause people to congregate uh, will have will be one of the last ones, I guess, to be opened, or they will be the most affected as well. And if you also look at Cebu Pacific, of course, everyone knows that they're still the most hit. Also, the stock's still consolidating, but if you look at it also now, it's below the 20-day moving average. And if you'll note it here, and if you'll try to put at least a level, it's consolidating from 46 to 54 level. Same thing, let's look at PAL. For PAL, if you notice it, and I'll try to zoom out, you will noticeably see this. It's still down, but it's close already to the resistance here. I think one of the advantages though of airline companies now is that oil prices are lower, but it's really predicated on how much they could earn. If they're not having any flights, then there's a harder chance for them to make money also in this era. So property companies, and as you all know, I've mentioned this for Ayala that they're foregoing their new projects for the year. So that will impact their growth targets already for 2020. But then again, majority of the companies in this era, they're not talking about profitability. They're looking at liquidity. They're looking at having enough cash to stay alive, having enough cash so that when this pandemic is over, they would be able to run very, very, very strong. So property companies, especially those that have malls, property companies that are selling condos, they're going to be hit. Airline companies will be hit. Now, let's look at companies that I think will thrive in this new normal. I'll probably call this video New Normal Stocks because these are some stocks that I've mentioned in the past, but I believe that they'll be somehow no one of the better ones, especially there's a shift in terms of the behavior of people. By the way, before I continue analyzing this, for those who are new to this channel, my name is Marvin Germo. I'm a stock market trader and investor. Been doing this, been in the markets, been in the financial industry for more than a decade now, and I just make daily videos because I just want to change the narrative of how Filipinos live their lives. I want Filipinos to be financially free, and for you to be financially free, I really believe that it's all about building assets, assets that will make money for you, and I believe that the stock market is part of those assets that could help you reach your goals of financial freedom. It's just that though when you invest in the stock market, it's a skills game. It's about the amount of skills that you deploy for you to be able to somehow make the right decisions on your investments. And I hope that this channel gives you so much value. And if it gives you so much value, super appreciate it if you could subscribe and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing and about trading the markets. And if you've been coming back to this channel and you get so much value from this, I appreciate if you could press a like, the thumbs up button so more and more people get to see videos like this because it helps YouTube know which videos are very helpful to people. Anyways, so this new normal that I mentioned specifically is all about what's people's behavior. Where is it shifting? And if you notice it, that if they're not traveling, if they're some of them are not earning so much, and a lot of the somehow they're not going to the malls, what is it that they're putting their money into? And the answer to that is basically this: necessities, which are the things that when people are in their houses, they're not going out, what are the things that they will spend on? And they will be skipping off luxuries, that's for sure. They will be skipping off things that uh because they're not going out, there's no need for people to buy suits. Since they're not going out, there's no need to buy new rubber shoes. If they're not going out, they're not gonna go into hotels, they're not gonna ride airplanes, but for sure they're gonna buy more items, that things that we as a whole, no, things na binabaliwala natin because we thought it's easy to get by. Now they become the things that are so important. So any business that's connected to food, especially the staples from rice, vegetables, pork, chicken, I think they're gonna do very, very well. From an entrepreneurial standpoint, those that can sell and deliver those items to people will pretty much do very, very well. And I mentioned this in some of the videos that I posted. I said pure gold is right smack in the middle of it. That's why you see after dropping massively here, just revisiting this, as you can see, it started to rebound now. When people are asking about recoveries, this is a good example of a V-shaped type of recovery. Why? Steep drop, then after boom, it started to push up. Now it's now starting to consolidate already with the 47 level as a resistance for it. And true enough, the reason why it did not drop yet because people are already projecting that based on all of this, pure gold will make a lot of money. And please remember, pure gold is not just pure gold; it also has SNR attached to it. So a lot of the malls are closed, but a lot of their supermarkets are massively open and are making a lot of money because spending behaviors have shifted towards them. And so here's what you need to remember though: as long as this 200-day moving average for pure gold holds, there's a big shot, there's a big chance that this upward projection will just continue. And if it breaks past 47, the possible area where it could go for the short term will be this, because you have the resistance somewhere here at around the 49 level. So you have this 49.5 as your target. Then you have another one here at around the 53 peso, at the 53, let me fix that for you guys, at the 53 peso level, and another one here around this level for the 49 level. So those are your resistances, 49.5, then 53 pesos for short-term targets for the stock. MACD is bullish. It's above the 200-day. So should there be any, please remember, there will be some take profit points, no? There will be some people who would also want to sell. So should people sell, should people try to get away, uh, possible retracement will make it go here. Let me try to fix it. So if it goes here and it bounces and then it tries to break past this, then that would be something that would be very, very good for the stock, because it would further continue its upward push and movement all the way to the next resistances. So it was a very, very good recovery for pure gold, no? And it shows you also that a lot of people are anticipating that it's because it's a grocery, because it's part of the new normal, that people are gonna prioritize all of this stuff. And please remember, everyone that's not going out buying food out, not ordering, they're buying from Pure Gold and just cooking. That's why a lot of people that used to go out, eat out, like me, just an example. I'm a classic example of this. I would I barely would eat at home. We normally eat out every day, but now because of the lockdown, we're forced to cook at home. Because of the lockdown, we're forced to make our own food. But since we're making our own food, we still have to buy groceries, and uh, the closest Pure Gold establishment near our area is SNR. So ganun din, we bought stuff there. So that's what I'm saying. So that's one. Another one, you can look at URC as well. I've mentioned this na rin, but I believe it's worth noting also. URC, if you look at this, please remember they sell coffee, which is a very, very important product, especially right now. Even me, my consumption for coffee that I would drink at home became immensely. If I would just drink one coffee at home, then two cups of coffee outside. Now all my 3 cups of coffee are at home. So you can imagine, if there are more people at home drinking coffee, the consumption would be faster, and that's what URC is. What URC is selling are branded items that people use on a regular basis. That's part of the staples. So even the junk food that they would buy, especially if you're at home and you have nothing to do, I believe the consumption of that would be even at a much, much faster rate as well. So you can put that. And what's interesting about URC is majority of their items are not too expensive. I think that's one underlying feature of what URC has, that people will skip off on buying more expensive items, but the ones that appeal, no, yung price points nila are for the broad base, I think will do very, very well. From a resistance standpoint, it still hasn't broke past the 200-day moving average, but its major resistance right now is at the 134 level. It has a support at the 117 level, and these are possible retracements. So resistance is at the 134, support is at 117. Failure to hold the 117 level, it could possibly go to 104. Failure to hold the 104 will bring it to the 95 level. If you'd allow me to project this, it needs to escape this area for it to also start to reverse at a massive level. But one thing that needs to be reversed upon is the 200-day moving average, which remains to show, no, that it's a resistance. One thing that's different about URC right now is it's above the zero level crossing for MACD. For those who attended their Stock Smart sessions, you know what I mean about that. By the way, for those who want to learn more about stock trading and investing, Shopee is now available again. You can order my 5 books via Shopee, and they'll speedily deliver it. The details are in the description below. So what's interesting is I highly suggest that aside from learning online, you use this time to read. You use this time to build your skills, especially that we still have most likely 3 weeks until the projected lockdown is. So use this time to build your skills. Use this time to make you better. Use this time to help you grow as an investor, because I don't know if we will have a time like this again. So another one close to URC, you can look at CNPF. CNPF, as you all know, canned tuna, and this is something relevant also. CNPF doesn't is not just about tuna. They also have corned beef, and they also have uh, they also have sardines. So the basic stuff that's needed for people to somehow survive, no, and they're basically cheap. So if you notice the recovery for this, it's very very close already to the 200-day moving average. CNPF is basically up. Since the recovery, tried to break the 200-day moving average, putting it up 48.4%. But since then, it has retraced. The retracement is bound by the 20-day moving average. So if there's a possibility of a short consolidation, it could be this. So resistance at the 14.77 level and support at the 13.9 level, with a stronger resistance close to the 15.22 level. So one thing to watch out for CNPF, support is at 13.9, resistance is at 14.8. Then another resistance at the 15.22 level. Then you have another support at the 13.4. So for those who are asking, no, just in case I don't get to reply to the live chat while this is happening, I have an online streaming session right now that's going on. So if I don't get to be part of the chat, it's because I'm in another live online session. But if it's done, I'll try as much as possible to reply to your questions. But again, if you guys have any stocks that you guys want me to analyze, just put them on the comment section below, and I'll make videos on top of that. And if you guys have other questions, just put them there, then hashtag Ask Marvin. Then I'm gonna make the videos for that. So either supermarkets or items na binibenta sa supermarket, Century, Food, URC, and I'll just add this again. Let's look at Pure Foods. Pure Foods, if you notice it, Pure Foods sells, of course, the corned beef, the hot dog, and all of the food and beverages under the San Miguel Group is there. For Pure Foods, though, it's also consolidating, similar to the other stocks that I showed you. But this is how the projection is: 44.2 main support, then resistance is at around the 59.8 level. Then, if I'll try to put somehow a support here, you could put something at the 55.23 level, a weaker type of support. And if you'll try to project this as well, it's still from a longer term perspective, or at least from a trend perspective, you will notice that it's still on a downtrend. It still hasn't reversed yet. It's more bullish already. MACD is relatively stronger, but one thing that's pushing it is it's above the 20-day moving average, and the 20-day moving average is already sloping up. For those who attended the Stock Smart sessions, please review your notes on this. But resistance currently is 59.8. Breakout from 59.8. Your next target price, your next resistance will be at the 70.5 level. So breakout from 59.8, target is 70.5. Failure to break out from the 59.8, possible movement downward will be at the 55.23 level. But the main underlying trend for FB, San Miguel Food and Beverage, is still down. So again, yung supermarket at yung mga paninda ng supermarket, San Miguel Food and Beverage, URC, CNPF, etc. So there. Again, one of the things that I'd like to mention also is, people might be asking, what about the stuff that Rustans is selling? What about SSI? The difference between SSI, I think, their items are more premium, and because of this, and you know that a lot of people are affected, there might be a narrative that they might skimp off, that some people who buy Lacoste, who would buy Nautica, who would buy Tommy Hilfiger, might not buy them, but for sure they're gonna buy groceries. For sure they're gonna buy stuff that they need on their houses. We're at the 18.5 mark, close to 19 minutes. Comment below if you are learning. Comment below if you're still uh, part of this video. And I'm gonna proceed to the next ones. So food, but here's another interesting thing. What enables you to order online, what enables you to be able to even watch this video, what enables you to be able to uh, somehow still transact and have a sense of normalcy, is the internet. And because we lack tech stocks here in the Philippines, there's not a lot similar as compared to the US. The next best thing that you could actually do is go for stocks that are highly connected to telecoms, because when you have telecoms, they provide data, and for you to access the internet, you need data. And I've said this over and over and over and over again, that telecom stocks, data stocks, are pretty much in demand, or at least their services are very in demand right now, because everyone is online, everyone is using these types of service. Now let's look at Globe. Similar to pure gold, Globe is bullish, short, mid, and long term. It's breaking out. All of the averages are bullish. If you notice it, MACD, moving averages, the resistances that I drew, it all broke past it already. And if you're looking at a consolidation level, at least for Globe, resistance is at 2.3, support is at the 2070 level for Globe. Now, if you let me project it, it's now starting to also push up. This is the low, and it's trying to project from this level. Target price resistance is at the 2,300 level as of today. And if you look at it as of April 21, 22, Globe has started to bounce off of that, and it's headed toward the 2.3 level. Now, failure to break 2.3 will just cause it to consolidate even more from 2070 to 2.3. Failure to hold 270 will somehow no, bring it to the 1,930 level for the short term. But I really believe that, by the way, MACD is also confirming the consolidation here. But I really believe though that digital is the future. I really believe that. And if you see PLDT, PLDT looks so interesting as well. The fact that it's pushing high, no, it's continually pushing up, going up steadily, pushing. And if you notice this, put a resistance here. It also broke out from the 1180 level. Also, for those know how to use who know how to use triangles, it just broke out from an ascending triangle with a large green candle. So it's pretty bullish. Comparing it to pure gold and globe, it's way above all moving averages. MACD is also bullish. And if I'll try to zoom out, you'll see that next possible target, if it continues to stay above the 1180 level, is it could possibly go and challenge and go to the 1200 level. So it's very interesting because from its lowest point at the 800 level, it's up no 46 per it would be up 46% already should it go close to 1260. And if I'll try to project this from here to here, this downtrend from May last year is already broken. If you project this even longer, here, from the highs here, if you try to project it, let me just fix this projection. This downtrend is also broken. And if I'll try to even go longer, here, try to connect this area here, and try to connect this particular area, you would notice that this downtrend started to go sideways. But if you want to really see a longer and stronger breakout, you just watch for this 1270 level, because I really believe if it breaks past this, you could see it go much higher. And even from a tech standpoint, possible target for that will be at the 1418 level for the short term. So there. Again, utilities, no, no, sorry, supermarkets, things that people will buy in supermarkets, things that allow people to live normally, still at least a sense of normalcy. You have the telco companies. And then for those that want to be a bit safe, for those who want to be a bit defensive, another thing that people might consider are utilities or defensive companies. And Meralco is also part of it. Meralco, if you notice it, and allow me to zoom out, you will see this. It got battered a lot after this the breakdown here. After the breakdown here, all of the moving averages were also bearish. After the breakdown, it dropped around 44%. After hitting this level, it started to move up. Highs that it gone up has gone up is around 39%. Anyways, similar to Globe, after it pushed up, it's now starting to consolidate. It's now starting to consolidate here. So your resistance now is around the 275 level. Its consolidation is moving from 254 to 274. Your support is 254. Your resistance is 274. That's your consolidation range. This is a very very thin range with an 8.4% gap, no. And one thing that I'd like to mention though, as compared to other stocks in the market, this one MACD is already above zero. So again, it's just a bit consolidating, but it's more bullish than others. But this is one stock that for sure, while you're at home, you're paying for your bills, you're paying for your Meralco bills, you're using electricity. And as long as you're using electricity and as long as you pay for your Meralco bills, there's an expectation that Meralco will make money. So again, there will be industries that will suffer. there will be industries that will be massively hit because of the lockdown, because of coronavirus. But there will be some companies similar to what I mentioned, food companies, department stores, telecom companies that will make more money. But there will be companies also that will be pretty defensive in this time because of what's happening. Another defensive stock, and again, if you're okay to weather the political risk, is Manila Water. Manila Water is very defensive because at the end of the day, we will all use water still. It's still in a downtrend if you put this in that regard. But from its lowest point, from the drop, no, because of what happened from the from last year's issue with the government, it's already roughly up 81% already, but it's sideways. Our resistance right now is here, 11.75. You have support at this level. The thin support is at 10.5. So if you'll allow me to zoom in, support is 10.5, resistance is 11.7. This is another thin range also. That's why when I mentioned this in the market that the market starting to consolidate, the market is a bit sideways already. It's because it's already sideways for the short term, but the main underlying trend still is still bearish. But looking at the MACD, it's starting to consolidate here, confirming this also that it's not really sloping, but it's already above zero. So there's a bigger bullish bias towards it. But then again, also, and I'll say this over and over, similar to electricity, people need water. The consumption of water won't stop even if we are in this period. The consumption of people will still take a bath. Hopefully, comment below if you're taking a bath during this lockdown period. Comment below if you brush your teeth. Also, all of those things need water. People will, and I think people are washing their hands more now. Also, people will still need to wash their dishes, wash their clothes. So water is very, very important. It's a staple. It's a defensive stock. It's a utility. So I believe that earnings for that may not be as bad, no, compared to uh, property development or travel or anything that got massively hit because of this pandemic and the lockdown. So general themes, supermarkets, basic essentials, anything on top of the internet. I'll make another video though if you want me to talk about US stocks that are connected to tech, that are connected to the internet. Comment below and I'll try to make another video on top of that. The Zooms, the Netflixes, the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebook. Right now, we're using Facebook, YouTube, Instagram like crazy, and you all know how they take revenue and traffic off of that. So, those things, I'll try to make videos on that. Comment below if you want me to. And then, aside from supermarkets, anything on top of the internet, you have the defensive stocks, you have the utilities that you might consider. So that's it for now. We're close to the 28-minute mark. I hope you guys stayed. Just to end, I hope that if you got so much value from this, super appreciated if you could like, press the thumbs up button. If you're new to this, subscribe, smash the bell so you get updated. If you want to grab a copy of the books, the links are in the description. You can use Shopee. If you want local delivery, Shopee is now open. If you want also to grab a copy via the online store, you can just click the other link beside it. I have two online courses, one with Chinkitan, it's a Tagalog online course that talks about the basics of the stock market. Then I have another online course with Shansi, it's another uh, online course on entrepreneurship, investing, and the stock market. You can click that also if you want to learn. Then I have a second YouTube channel. It's called Stock Investing Made Easy. Super appreciate it, guys, if you could support that and subscribe to that. Those are basic videos that if you want to learn more, a lot of the basic stuff using infographics, that's the channel for you. And if you have friends that you know it's beneficial for them, uh, super appreciate it if you could share those channels to them, because at the end of the day this channel exists because we want to educate more people, that they get to know what they're getting into. They know what they're getting into, that finance becomes something that gets talked about. It's something that's important, it's something that's relevant, that it's okay to entertain yourself, but it's also nice and important to spend the time to grow business wise and financially as well. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Gurmo. I hope this video is something that adds tremendous value to you, and it's something that helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.